All right, today I'd like to talk about my savings for 2022. Now that the year is over and I've had a chance to track it and see how I did. So let's get right into it. So overall savings in 2022 was just over $68,600. That's a big number for sure, but it's also a drop of 30.5% year over year compared to 2021. And a lot of that has to do with some major expenses that I had throughout the year that just made savings a lot harder than it was in 21. Namely, I had an air conditioner that just died on me after 30 years. And yeah, it's lived its life, but it was time to replace it, and that was not cheap. There were other expenses throughout the year that wasn't really planned, so that affected my ability to save. But still, overall, it's a pretty good number, so I'm not complaining at all. In terms of the component of what goes into that $68,000, I maxed out my Roth 401k, so that was $20,500. And even though my income is putting me in a relatively high tax bracket, I opted to do the Roth 401k just because I need to have some of that tax diversification as I get closer to pulling the trigger on my plan. If I knew back then what I know now, I would have started by saving Roth amounts and trying to save as much into Roth as possible, just so that I have that cushion. But c'est la vie, as they say. The next big item for the savings for 2022 was my firm's profit sharing plan, which contributed $18,475 to my overall retirement savings. So that's great. I know that some companies will do a match of some type, 3% of your salary, 5% of your salary, up to some limit. We don't have that. We just have straight profit sharing. And I'm really glad for that because that's a big sum. Next up is savings into my Roth IRA. Again, this is Roth contribution of $6,000. My income level is too much to contribute directly to a Roth, so what I had to do was to do a backdoor Roth. And basically what that means is that I contribute to a traditional IRA, but because my income is too high, it's considered a non-deductible contribution. But because it is a non-deductible contribution, I can immediately turn around and contribute it to my Roth IRA without having to pay any additional taxes, since taxes were already paid. Next up is after-tax brokerage. So this is just a regular old brokerage account, and I managed to put $6,800 last year into that. And last but not least, I saved about $16,900 into my home equity. This is going to be one of those things where people will go, wait a minute, is that really savings? And when I first saw it, I kind of go, well, that's not savings, your home equity. But if you really stop and think about it, it is. So I make a mortgage payment every month. A portion of that goes to interest and the rest goes towards principal. That principal is mine to keep. So in a sense, it is really savings. It's savings in the form of home equity. So it's savings, and you should count it. So I have started to track it and count it as part of my savings overall for the year. And last year was $16,900. I'm fortunate because my mortgage is really low interest. It's 2.5% fixed for 30 years, which basically means that the mortgage interest component is smaller than the principal payment. And that was true for the last, year. So pretty much 16 months after I refi, that was true, just because the interest rate was so low. But there it is. That's the total savings for 2022. I hope this helps give you some insight into how I'm conducting my savings. Keep in mind that this is all personal, right? It's personal to each of us, depending on our situation, what we're able to do, and whatnot. And even when you look at my 2022 results compared to 2021, it's different because I had life circumstances that got in the way, and it is what it is, as they say. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will catch you later. Bye.